Hmm. Well, we're gonna see if it's on. We're gonna see if the audio's coming through. Very concerned, but seems like it is. Well, oh, we're gonna see. Okay, it looks like vibes. Hello, welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I'm Amber, and this is Office Hours. Been quite the trip lately. Last week I was full of no energy. I had traveled all day. I was full of hatred in my soul, but today, different. I'm actually very excited to follow the journey for Power Query. If there's lag issues, none of my business. Honestly, please tell me. If there's audio issues, which there's probably going to be, and video issues and everything under the sun, let me know. However, um, to kind of recap what's been going on, month one of Office Hours with Amber um, was all about dynamic arrays, and I was able to rebuild my price quoting tool. That was delicious fun. This month, I'm working on Power Query because after the Active Cell conference and then as well the Global Excel Summit that I just went to, Melissa DeCourta just literally blows my mind every time she talks about Power Query. So I thought there's much more to this beautiful application than I thought. So what I'm going to show you is going to be just the smallest little itty bitty thing. Um, but I'll tell you all about it. But before we get into that, I kind of want to go over how the Global Excel Summit was because that was great fun. Um, but yeah, so the first 5-10 minutes of this, I'm going to be going over the Global Excel Summit, and then we'll go into Power Query, and I'm going to dink around, probably put some music on, because this is going to take so much of my brain to be able to do what I'm about to do. But anyways, ooh, Ashley, thank you so much for the feedback, because I was concerned. Um, okay, vibes. Global Excel Summit. So essentially, my girl Lily, thank you so much for coming with me. We traveled from the United States to London to attend a 2-day in-person um, conference, summit, if you will. Um, and it was very similar to the Vegas conference, however, very different. I'm really giving you all the details here. I would describe the Vegas Active Cell Conference was kind of like active, very active. Like you were on your computer listening to the presenters doing active things like a masterclass workshop. Whereas this conference I just went to felt very like corporate showcasey. Like it was super cool. The venue had like surround, like it was like a circular venue and there was a huge stage in the middle. It was super cool. Very nice production quality. Um with that, the seating arrangement, it was hard, like there was no room for you to put a laptop up, so I had been carrying around my laptop for nothing, so I was very overstimulated by my like junk I had on me. So the nice thing is at lunch we ended up taking our stuff back to the hotel and um coming back fresh as a daisy, ready and excited just to listen and kind of engage with people. um the material that was covered is very similar to the Active Cell, but it didn't there was a few presenters that didn't go into like Excel stuff, but some Power BI, some Power Automate, and kind of the auxiliary tools to Excel, which is kind of cool. By far, my favorite presentation, Chef's Kiss. I told him to his face. Mark Proctor did a presentation on the zero click dream and talking about Power Automate and Office scripts and how they all can kind of work together. So I'm very excited about that. I might change one of my future months to Power Automate because he really sold me on the dream. Um, I'll be doing like an actual full video on that eventually when I'm completely recovered. I'm choosing, much like Taylor Swift, to I'm jet lag is a choice and I'm choosing not to experience it, but I am dying. So I digress. Anyways, very fun. I think what solidified again for me is it's about the people, not really like the content matter. Yes, I love the content and I thoroughly suggest everyone go back and watch it, but it's interacting with people. And I think the networking sessions were really impactful for me just to like give these people flowers that took the time to present. And it's strange how often I get, and like this sounds like a shameless self plug, but like I get consistently the feedback that the how did I even describe? Like people enjoy the warmth I bring, which I love because I do try to be nice, but then I'm like, how many cold people are you interacting with? That makes me a little concerned. None of my business, but if my part of this community is to give flowers to all of these beautifully intelligent people, by all means, I'll take this I'll wear the hat. Um few other things is I think I learned on my travels that the importance of alone time and I think a younger version of me was okay with sleeping on a couch, but the older version of me realized that I would have no privacy for 4 days. And I think, much like a caged animal, I started to get a little feral. So, anyone who caught some strays from me during that time period, I'm sorry. So, anyways, uh, other thoughts. England was pretty cool. I think, okay, this is about to be a hot take. I think London is really just New York City with an accent and a little different food. Don't at me. It's just an opinion. I loved it. I loved how you were able to, like, everything was in 1 block radius. Brilliant fun. We really messed around on some cobblestone. I don't think my roller bag was meant for their sidewalks, but that's okay. We had lots of fun. Took me a minute to kind of realize that also US museums are usually a manufactured version of some sort of historical event sometimes, unless it's US history, whereas historical landmarks and sites in England are straight up where they happened. And I am ignorant. Whatever. We've accepted. Amber is a little too American. I really outed myself. Oh, I didn't. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Okay, not embarrassing. I'm owning it with my chest. Thank you so much to Jack Kennedy, who invited me to do the commentating at the live. They did a live speed run. Basically, it was 3 robots versus 1 Dim Early. Oodles of fun to watch. I did not prepare well enough, and so I just started speaking off the dome, kind of like I do here. And what I realized is in the difference between my community is a lot of the people that show up to my page like know me generally, but the people that show up to Jack's page don't know me at all. So the first thing that they're hearing is about a 4 minute long bowel movement I'm having. And I said that with my whole chest. I'm glad it made some people laugh, but I like completely forgot the audience and that it was live. So if you go back and watch it, don't tell me unless you loved it. Then do tell me. Um, Eric, 1, thank you so much for being here. 2, I'm so glad you loved it. If you guys didn't know, I also accidentally brought up Eric's daughter's very much passed on deceased dog. So cute. And that took me by surprise as well. So, yeah, I like to just put my foot entirely in my mouth when I go live. So, anyways, that's the spark notes of my trip in England. I think it was a lot of fun. I think I'm going to put more eggs into the Vegas basket this next year instead, but still worth going if you haven't already. Okay, now we're going to talk about Excel. So, preface before we get into this rat's nest I'm about to show you. So, recapping on current status of Office Hours with Amber February. So, my goal this month is to dive deeper into Power Query. I think I'm a master button clicker. We loved clicking buttons in there, and I think Melissa DeCorta definitely opened my eyes to how much M code is out there and how much you can weaponize it. I think other things that I did not realize about Power Query is that you can create custom functions, you can create tables in there. There's a gazillion things you can do in there, and I'm scratching the surface. So, with that in mind, I've been doing a project for a client, and this is everything that I'm describing and what you're about to see is all randomized data. It means nothing. So, take that how you will. But this is a very similar experience to how many insightful comments in there? Oh, yes, okay. I will take one quick backpedal about the live stream. I did pepper in a little bit of a entry level, mid level user experience versus the crazy lambdas and stuff they were doing. So I tried to be insightful when I was not actively blacking out. But if you want to watch more, I'll probably include little clips of it in my recap video, but I digress. Okay. Forecasting. So in demand forecasting for any new items, a lot of companies really struggle with telling the future. Crazy idea, guys. So, one of the hardest things to forecast is things that don't have preliminary sales to compare to. So, if you're coming out with a new item, it's kind of difficult to tell the future on something that you have no understanding of. So, a lot of times, what companies will do is use a proxy item, a proxy brand, a proxy retailer, say, products that go into this place or have these qualities normally perform in this way, or depending on the distribution style. So, if you're going into, let's say, retailers, like you're going into Walmart, sometimes you'll load them up with product and then watch how it sells over time, and then you'll do a reload later. And so sometimes it creates like a sales curve, and usually that that's we've coined we haven't coined anything, but uh we're describing that today as a growth ramp, which sometimes it's also a decay ramp. None of my business. But estimating this new product behavior is what I'm trying to accomplish here by taking historical data that they already have. Hey Matt, thank you so much for coming. So sorry to hear that Oak destroyed the trash can. We're trying to take historical data and all of the kind of characteristics that go with that. So whether it's the retailer it went into, the item specifically, the type of product it is, etc. So we've got all of these like kind of categorical things that we're working with. And then based on their first 12 months of sales, we want to take how much the total was. I'm not explaining this very well, but you'll see it in a second. Basically, if I was to sell 100 units in the first year of this item being alive, how many of those units landed in January, February, March, April, May, June? Now, the complexity here is that each product starts at a different point in the year, starts in different years. It could be one's in January 2019, one's in, let's say, March of 2024. So, what I'm doing right now is so chaotic, and I'm like delaying trying to show you this because I'm so embarrassed. It's okay. We're going to do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's see if you can. Okay, in my tabs in the bottom, we're on the info tab, but we're moving into the other two. So, sales, basically, in the actual client tool, I have Power Queries that are connecting all these different databases. So, their pricing card that has all of their birth, death records. We like their sunset sunrise records. They've got a product table that has all of the categorical information about their products. They have sales data all in different places. So the data you're about to see is already a homogenized version through Power Query, and then we're going to use that data to be able to create these growth ramps. So the current status is how to describe mayhem, I think is a good word for it, and I'm about to show you, and then I'm going to throw up. So what's happening right now is all this data comes into Schwa here. This is the homogenized data set. Like I said, there's the ordered quantities, UPC channel, helper ID, all these things. And I added this column about months out. So essentially, the date it was sold, so August, June, July? Yeah, okay, August versus it was born, sunrise, in February. So this is 6 months out from its inception, basically. That, bear with me, this is some ugly work, guys. I'm feeling guilt and shame as I'm presenting it, but that's fine. That's what we're here is to improve it. So we've got all of these months out. So essentially, we only want the first 12 months out. I can't remember what I'm doing with all of this. So we didn't end up even using that. But we keep going down the bunny trail here. And we've got all of our categorical information. And then we have the ordered quantities. Basically, This originally didn't have it filtered on the first 12 months, so we really don't even need that anymore. But as you go down, you see that as the sunrises come closer into the future, it adjusts what we're looking at. I digress. Based on all that information, so ugly, gonna throw up. Based on all that information, I want to pull out just the first 12 months of sales and their totals. Stay with me. And you can kind of see here, like you've got some that will start slow and expand over time. But then you have some alternatively that, let's see a good example of it. Okay, for instance, you've got some that start off with like huge numbers and then go to 0. Now, to me, that looks like a data issue, but let's imagine that all the data is clean and this is perfect. In this circumstance, to be like that would be described as kind of like a retailer load-in, and then they didn't reorder because the sales aren't coming through as what they thought. And then they're like, oh, well, some sales came through, so then they're going to reorder. So you can kind of see it's like start, stop, and then it kind of gained traction here and started to level out. And so depending on, so in this circumstance, I would say retailer 12 probably has some sort of like discount buying system, or they have some sort of deal where they buy big, or there's some sort of scenario where that retailer has a different pattern. So if we were going to have a new item coming to retailer 12, we would want to see that pattern in the way that we're proxy modeling for this new item. I don't think I'm explaining any of this well, but that's okay. I get it, you get it, we're there. Okay, so now we've got our first 12 months of sales. Cha-cha-cha. And this is where we have our ramps. So essentially, not all, so really we want to just see the growth and decay of the, how to describe? We want to see the growth and decay of the percentage of whatever amount you're going for. So for instance, if we can see that 6% is going to be in month 0 and 8% is going to be in month 7, then when we're taking how many retailers, how many cases per retailer, how many, expectation of growth and decay off of those things, then you have the percentages to see how the volume falls throughout the months. Because the amount is still, you can use the amounts and look into the sales histories of like, okay, if I'm selling, let's say chocolate milk, and then you decide to come out with a new flavor of chocolate milk that has gold flakes of dust in it. You're like, well, I know it's going to be probably, like, the sales team will come to you with some sort of scenario and say, chocolate milk with gold flakes is going to do 3 times what chocolate milk does already. And then you can kind of base it on that. But based on the growth ramp, you'll know that total volume, let's say 100 units of chocolate milk. I hate that I use that because it's just grossing me out already. 100 tennis balls, let's say, and then gold flake tennis balls are going to be 3 times. So you take that 300 and then you multiply it out into the months based on the percentages. So that's what we're kind of doing here. Based on all that stuff, we still need it into a row by row format. So this gets put back into Power Query, unpivoted, and then gives you these so that when you're interacting with it in your model, you can connect it to those weeks. A lot of information to basically say, this is a cluster mayhem that I hate. And usually I come into this with like a general idea of how I want to accomplish it, but I have less than 0 ideas today, so we're just gonna do it live. I think I want music while I dink around on the internet, so let's see what I got on the playlist today. I think I got lo-fi jazz vibes. Hopefully it's not copywritten. Ooh, study beats. Oh my god, it's so loud. I could die. Okay, vibes. If that's too loud or you can't hear it, you let me know. But I can hear it, and I feel good about it. Okay. So, essentially, step 1 is I need to get, well, I think, honestly, trying to like game plan. So this section over here actually functionally did nothing, so I'm going to hide it. The months out already is working the way I think I wanted it to. So really what I could have done, actually, so to do all that nonsense I just did, I think what I could have done is just showed these as a percent of the row, the row total. Okay, I do like that. I'm not going to keep it in pivot tables because we're adults now and we can do better. But I know I at least have the fallback plan if I completely fail, because I don't need all of that extra nonsense that was happening because I fixed the months out issue. Okay, so essentially what I need to Google, so let's go back. How to, in Power Query, I need to figure out how to get the percent of its row total, essentially. I'm really not confident about any of this. Let's go to Google. I think I can show both. Perhaps? My mouse is lagging hardcore. Oop, let's just shift some stuff around. Oop. Oh yeah, we're just really scrapbooking over here. Brilliant. Okay, not perfect, don't care. Great, okay. Oh yeah, I'm on my wrong account. Whoops. Let's just go back to AmJam. Amber's first time using the internet. Okay. I will say ChatGPT is really not the best with M-code. I don't know where along the lines it just kind of gave up, but that's okay. We're at least going to see if it can give me something first. I'm attempting. I also saw Lily do something really interesting. She basically took like a picture of a pivot table and then asked it, how can I do this in Power Query? And I thought that was a real interesting way to do that. So we're just going to try that first. Good. Parent row total. Oh, I've done it now. Brilliant. Okay. Another thing is sometimes if you want, the cool thing she does, because she doesn't want to share any information, she'll do this where she'll cover up like the sensitive information and take a screenshot that way, which I thought was interesting. But I digress. Screenshot. I don't think my question is going to be good enough. It's going to know what to do with it. But we'll see. Hey Jody, thank you for coming. Also, can you hear any twinkly music in the background? Yay or nay? Ah, thank you. Okay. It's telling me to group, which would give the row total. Expand it back to the original structure. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. Fives. I think bars. This is gonna be good. Okay. So, we're gonna take this bad boy, we're gonna take it, queries, connections, go back into it. I have good feelings. Okay, basically the structure at which it's doing is it's saying taking the unique identifiers, grouping based on these. Whoa. Because it's already correctly filtered on, and so let me backpedal. The source of this is basically just the sales data. We went through and removed any null dates. So the sunrise date is basically saying the first. I'm gonna close Google Chrome. We don't need her anymore. I like to get like 1% of the instructions and then shoot off into the sunset. Oh no, you can't even see my Power Query. Let me do this instead. Okay. We can see things now. Crazy idea, guys. Okay. Essentially, the sunrise is like the first date that it's ever been sold. So I want to remove anything that doesn't actually have a sunrise date to remove some noise. We're changing the data types to make sure that month date is actually a date. The months out is a cute little formula. Oh, ooh. That's new. The sunset date's got some strange stuff in it. None of my business, to be honest. 1889. That's in the past, though. Uh-oh. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go sort that crisis out first. Let's go back to sales. La la la.
One crisis at a time. 1889. Okay, that's like a for real problem. Alright. One venture at a time. Oh, the jam. Let's just clean this data up. It's just zeros. That's spooky. That it was showing 1889, but like, that does not exist here. Alright. Whatever. Perhaps I just need to refresh the preview. Sometimes Power Query does some spooky stuff where it's just like showing you fake errors. So let's see. Yeah, what? Let's just refresh the preview. I ain't never seen that before. Sunset. Let's see if it's even recognized. It's a date. Not the problem I was looking to solve, but you know what? C'est la vie. Lots of zeros. Okay. Let's go. Oh, I've done it. Oops. Oh! I see. It wasn't even the right place. I was deleting it for nothing. To be fair, I did randomize this right before we started, so I knew this was going to come up anyway, and it's not really... Wait, oh, yes, no, that was right. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, it has thoroughly knocked it off, so that's great. We feel good about that, I guess. Okay, now that we've taken a little side detour, essentially what it's saying is that the months out is calculated from the distance between the sunrise and the month day that it's actually interacting with. So the nice thing about that is I think if I just group, if I just select all this nonsense, well, technically, type and format are just instructive based on the UPC. So if I do a group by the helper ID, it should just work. I don't have hope, though. Kind of like,
I don't know if you guys do this. We're having a heart-to-heart now. This is what this is. Sometimes I'll Google something just for a sec to say, like, I don't remember how to get started. And I'll read the first instruction and be like, for instance, I'll be like, how do I connect to Bluetooth? And I'll Google it and it'll say, go to settings, go to here. I'll skim the instructions. I'm like, I remember this. And then I'll go to do it and I'll be like, oh, what was step 2? Now, I could just go Google it again. Or I could click buttons. And I think I'm going to learn more by clicking buttons instead of just blindly following. So, yep. Let's do it. Actually, yeah. Okay, because what I could do is I could unpivot this column. I could pivot this column. Let's see what that does. Okay, the values are going to be ordered quantity. Blessed. We're going to do the sum. Let's give that a whack. Ah, Harry, so thank you for coming. It was so good to meet you. This is not doing anything of what I wanted it. Oh, she ugly. Oh, you want to know why? Because I unpivoted without changing. So, yeah, clicking buttons, I feel like brilliant method. Technically, because we have the months out, I need to make this a number so that it sorts properly. Let's see if there's any issues in there. Nah, vibes. Okay, bars. So if I was to just unpivot, if I was just to pivot based on that, but not remove the month date, then it would have a whole crisis. So we're removing it. We don't need her. Bye. Okay. I don't like the way that this data is structured or like in order, but I hate a reorder columns applied step until the very last end, so I'm not doing it. So, okay, what I'm going to do now is pivot this bad boy and sum of ordered quantity. Brilliant. Be in order. Oh, of course not. See, that is what gets me fucked up. 680, like in what world was that ever the order? It wasn't. Now, what I could do, let's just whack again. Let's sort ascending. That's fine. And then pivot. Pivot! Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm so dumb. I'm so sorry.
All right, I'm really cooking some magic up over here, and you didn't see an ounce of it. Whatever. Okay, you got to sort it first, and then pivot out, and then I think if I do... That makes sense. That makes sense. I think if I do... Yes, sorry, Harry, there had to be some tech issue somehow today, and that was going to be it. Okay, so now I want to basically sum up all of these columns, and I'm going to Google it. La, 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 la. In Power Query, I have 12 columns I want added up. Oh, ew. That's fine. I feel so bad. This is a really silly thing to feel bad about, but like in the middle of asking ChatGPT a question and then I notice it's on a path I don't want, I could just press stop, but instead I let it keep going and then I interrupt it by sending another one and like being like, no, not like that, like this. And I always feel bad, but okay. Row totals. See, I wanted something like a little cuter than creating 12 new. Wait a minute. Maybe I should try reading. That's a crazy concept, guys. Literacy really is the true pandemic. Okay, let's just try getting a sum together. Let's give this a whack. La 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 la. Add custom column. Also, I found out about column from examples last week. Crazy, guys. I think this song is on repeat. Oh my god, it's just one song. Guys, I'm the best DJ on this planet. Let me actually go to a playlist so you're not listening to the same one. Wow. Brilliant. I'm the smartest girl there ever did was. Also, I secretly loved commentating. I am actively going to take a media training class or like a LinkedIn Learning or something. Because man, not worth the embarrassment. However, I love making people laugh. So if I can somehow do that more, I'm in. Okay, row total. Don't pretend that you're not good at using your imagination, Harry. Okay, we have the row total. Now, because I don't trust anything, I'm gonna sum up that first row and see what I come up with. I hate that you can't really make these any skinnier. Okay. La la la. 7 plus. 2272. Was it a me problem? Okay, that's right. Awesome. Okay, we have the row total. Dope. Oh, these are just different methods. Okay. Calculating the percent of the row total. It's just telling me to create 12 new row columns. That's fine. I think, okay, we're gonna have
another heart-to-heart. Sometimes it's okay to not do the most sophisticated way of doing things. Because if you ended up getting things done, you can always improve on it later. But if you are stuck in such a state of perfectionism that you never do anything, you can't improve. That is my TED Talk. I think at the conference, Carlos Barboza did such a beautiful job presenting on guerrilla Excel modeling and like guerrilla spelled like guerrilla warfare, very tough, you know. And it's just kind of gritty and to the point. You get things done, and him and Oz do such a beautiful job with that. And I think I've always felt shame for doing things haphazard to get things done on time, but like you're getting things done, so no judgment. But I did tell him that I wanted to make a YouTube series called From Guerrilla to Glamorous. We're working on the title, but I think that'd be fun. Okay.
Back on task. Honestly, okay. Yeah, we're doing it. We're just gonna copy this and then custom column. If row total is 0, then let's see if that works. blam. Okay. So the cool thing is Advanced Editor. I don't want to have to spell this out in the thing, so I'm just going to copy and paste this. Now, I might be judged, and that's okay. Oh, gee. Not like that. Double mic input sounds. Oh. That's weird. Desktop audio is down. Can you still hear me? Let me see if it's mono or not. Oh yeah, that was my little baby Banjo. He was barking up a storm. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was Banjo. Many apologies. Okay, what I'm about to do is also kind of heinous, and I apologize for this in advance. Sometimes you just gotta use Notepad. And oh yeah, here we go. Like I could edit in the custom, like in the advanced editor, but I just don't have it in the I think this will work. We're gonna give it a whack, and I'm sure it's gonna yell at me, but that's the point of learning. I wish there was like a cuter way to do this, but I don't care. When you share a screen, it gets more like loud and doubly. Ooh. Oh, wait. How about now? Let me turn all the offset. The offsets are off. Is it still doing it? You let me know. I think we're accepting. No. Okay. Perfect. Thank you guys for the feedback, because otherwise I would have no idea. I watched back like a few streams ago, and sometimes I like have to cringe because I'm like, for exactly that reason, like, Harry, your ear is so immaculate, because I hear those things back and it always makes me crazy. Now, fun fact, is I should have accounted for week 0, which means that, there's technically 13 months, which I don't love. So I should wipe off month 12, but we'll get there. And this is where we mess all the way around. Oh, mess around, and we're going to find out. No, we did 0. And then we add, the last one is custom 12 gets output. And take off the comma. Say a prayer. What? Oh, what have I done? Oh, I see. I see. So this should have referenced the previous step. So this should reference 0, 1. So that it captures everything that came before it. I do like that I stumbled across that. So then you could technically toggle through whatever step you actually want it to land on. I don't know a specific instance where I would do that, but I like it. So then it attaches all of these together. Okay. Bars. Let's do it. Yes. Okay, let's fact check. 7 divided by 2254. 7. Yes! Yay! Okay. Stunning! Okay, awesome. Now, I just delete all this other nonsense. I don't like how many steps there are, and I'm sure I could get rid of those eventually. Remove. And then I want to unpivot this. I'm just gonna, I'm still button clicking, but this was actually a huge win for me. Don't fuck up. And then, cool thing, you can just adjust it in here. Month. And okay. Oh my gosh. I'm a little furious that it was that easy to do. None of my business. We're past it. Okay. Close and load. It's gonna mess up some other stuff, but that's okay. I don't need it anymore. Okay. Stunning. Brilliant. Okay. Okay.
I hate everything. Can you hear me now? Yeah, probably. I was just gloating. I was gloating to myself. Jody, can you hear me? If you can hear me, say carrot. Love you so much. Anyways, I was sitting here just exploding with joy that I got something done in the hour because I was this. Thank you so much. You know, I'm not Italian, but a lot of hands moving. Um, I've been anyways, what you missed is me gloating my victories that I was able to accomplish this in the hour because let's go back in time. Let's go back to last Monday. I was trying to do this, so I was trying to do that. It took me like 4 hours of making all those fuck ass pivot tables and queries and this and that and all this stuff just for me to figure it out in like an hour today. Excuse? That's where I'm just so mad at myself. It's the thing is like it's nice to like feel that I'm improving and my skills are improving and all this stuff. It's just like, oh, I don't know. I'm very excited that I got this done today. I came into today very nervous. I was like, I'm going to get on here and look like a damn idiot. Guess what? Kind of still, but that's okay. The fact that I got it to that homogenizable place is huge because it was crashing out so hard. And I think anyone who looks at like a pivot table, a power query to a pivot table to a pivot table, yeah, straight Picasso. Oh, I forgot about. See, here's the thing: blacking out the chocolate gold flaked situation, tennis balls. That's what's going on up in the nog here. So the fact that with all of that, I was able to pull out and get something correctly done, Picasso. Okay, I'm gonna throw a few links in the chat ski. Let me grab the Discord. I'll be over in Discord for a little bit in the after hours in the chit chat chamber. So if anyone wants to head that way, I'm going to grab, oh, not what I was grabbing. I'm going to grab the link to the Discord and then I'm going to head over there because I am a little tired, but let me get the link. I think I'm having a stroke. It's not letting me do it. Hidden. I'm in streamer mode. How do I get the hell out of that? Okay. I've done the hard parts of today. Now doing the easy part of sharing the link to the Discord is gonna give me a crisis. Yes, Harry, thank you so much for noticing. As the lover girl that I am, we've got the heart earrings, we've got the new sparkly shirt. Yes, I will be celebrating Valentine's Day on Saturday because I'm single as fuck. Could we imagine why? Okay. How do I get out of streamer mode? Annoying. Hey. Oh. There we go. Disable. I'm just had to find the button. Copy. There we go. Discord is in the chat. I am going to go over to the chit chat chamber and hang out. So I never know if this is actually going to end when I stop streaming. So if it cuts off abruptly, sorry.